We exist to provide a solution. Our mantra is that everyone in South London that needs a home should have one. We want those homes to be affordable because that's what we are. We're a social landlord. We want it to be safe. We want it to be secure. We want our tenants to be able to utilize their homes and build a future for themselves. One of my colleagues, thankfully, head of development, when he introduced Multivista to us, we thought that was a really useful tool to allow us to capture a lot of the built information on our properties from day zero. We thought this is absolutely fantastic. It just gives us that data that we need. That information gives us a really good position to start from and therefore save us money as well.
It's our superpower. I think Multivista was not just a collaboration in some of the software that supported it. So I think the idea and that geohashing of individual points across the whole development is great, and the delivery of it in regards to the photography, but it's actually the system that sits behind it, which was very usable, made a lot of sense, was backed up by a mainstream sort of developer, and we felt that worked for us.
This is our second project using Multivista. Historically, projects have issues with trying to find construction data, the information behind the walls. So with the partnership with Multivista just helps us fill in those gaps on all the projects going forward where we have it.
Photographs. Photographs. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. In Multivista's case, it's photographs. You can't argue with the photographs. Contractors may not take photographs of incomplete works, which doesn't help the long-term effect of what we're trying to capture, which Multivista does capture. They capture items in the same position from start to finish.
If you rely on contractor evidence, although it's described as built and all that information that comes for that, it's not as strong evidence as actually having a visual representation of what has been carried out, where you can actually see the work, the materials that have gone in. That records it, that gives you that evidence that what's supposed to be put in has been put in, and to the right regulatory standard.
So from the golden thread, we need information taken, we need photographic evidence of key stages of works, inspections carried out from the relevant fire engineers and relevant bodies that come out on site as well. We get Multivista to come out a couple of visits a week. They'll capture key moments of works when we're replacing the existing cladding, the existing system, replacing it with the new, and that builds information that we can use in the future going forward for compliance as well. With Multivista, it's a digital platform. So I can basically get my iPad, my phone, my laptop, wherever I am, I could be sitting on the train, and I could pull up my phone and I could log into the system and I could see this is the works that's taken place on this day, this week. It's all good a contractor doing it, but where's your own due diligence? You should be checking yourself. So for example, they might miss things that you need that are critical items that are not recorded in there. Having more than two eyes on a project on something is better than missing stuff out.
There are some really good contractors out there, but more often than not, things get missed. And on a complex build, no matter how good you have your as-built drawings, it could always boil down to one poor egg or one bad egg, in your basket, and that's all you need to cause you a problem. If somebody hasn't done something correctly at the top of the building, it doesn't take long, a few years down the line, when the leak occurs, to affect the whole building. So I think that this is one of the main reasons for using Multivista is the benefit to our customers, to our residents. They're going to be living in these homes, and they're going to be living in these homes for many years. I think in the first instance, when we hand over the homes, and in that first few months, I think it makes the quality aspect, that initial quality, it really helps us with everything that may have slipped through in the defects period. It's given us an X-ray vision as to what is behind the wall and what is behind the sink or the shower, and therefore that should enable us to deal with any problems quite quickly, efficiently, so that minimises the disruption to our residents. But there's also a knock-on in regards to the cost. It would cost us less when we're trying to investigate and remedy something, and that then doesn't get passed on to the resident or a customer. So that's quite positive for us, and hopefully positive for them.